Thank you, Zillard. Well, I have to admit that speaking after Lee is one of the most difficult things on earth, because everybody has been so captured by his speech. Well, I'm sure that I will not be as good as he was, but I will try to give you some messages about what's going on in ISTQB, where we are, and especially what we are trying to do for the future. Is the presentation on? Okay. Well, I can start in any case a little bit, telling you so that here we are. So, just a recap about where ISTQB started from and what were the achievements that ISTQB was able to do. So ISTQB was founded more than 10 years ago now. It was 2002, and it's a non-profit organization, as you know, and today is de facto the leading organization worldwide for software testing certification. And our motto is advancing the software testing profession. So what is our vision? What do we want to do? Our goal is to continuously improve and advance the software testing profession. In what sense? Is that we are defining and maintaining a body of knowledge which allows testers to be certified based on best practices. So we are not really inventing new things. We are trying to capture and distill what is the knowledge around testing and to put it in a way in which we have business outcomes, learning objectives, and we can have trainings done by our accredited training providers and an exam which checks whether the candidates have reached a knowledge on these topics. ISTQB in the various years has grown very much. So today we have a value chain, which is quite a big one, that starts from internally to the ISTQB, which goes through the member boards, which represent ISTQB locally. The Hungarian Testing Board is a very good example. Today we have boards worldwide. Then we have the training providers and the exam providers, which are our, let's say, connection to the market. And at the end of the day, our target are the certified professional. More and more, we have involved in our value chain also the companies, because we had companies that more and more were requiring us to have a possibility to get, let me say, to be recognized as companies which have a lot of ISTQB certified people inside. And so this is why some years ago we created the so-called ISTQB Partner Program, which recognizes companies on the basis of the number of certified people working for them. And then we are more and more trying to work together and to influence or to get influence from academia, from public administration, and so to give a contribution to the community at large. We have some nice videos that you can get from the ISTQB website, and I'm pretty sure that also here at the Hungarian Testing Board we have some of them that explain in more details what ISTQB is and what are the main pillars and the main areas where ISTQB is working. This is the current structure of ISTQB. We, as you probably well know, we have 3 levels, the foundation one, the advanced one, and the expert one. And the foundation level, we have the so-called foundation syllabus, which is today very much accepted by the market. And we have defined a couple of so-called extensions. One is in Agile, and the other one is on model-based testing. When we go through the advanced levels, in which we have 3 different, let's say, cluster of knowledge that we deal with, test manager, test analyst, and technical test analyst. And then we progress towards some planned expert levels. This is what you know right now. This is what has been ISTQB so far. Towards the end of the presentation, you will see how this product portfolio is changing a lot and going towards a new extended portfolio of training and certification modules that you can get advantage from. But let's have a look, a broader view. Because, I mean, we are here to advance the software testing profession, but how is the market going? Is it testing a declining market? Is it testing a growing market? It's clearly a growing market. It's a market in which, in accordance to this report, which is, I think, one of the most reputable, a global software testing market survey. We have seen in the last 5 years a composite annual growth rate for the testing services in the range of 10% year-over-year. I think there are not a lot of markets which are growing in double digit for 5 years in a row. And it's especially, we see this kind of double-digit growth when we are in a new market, in a new technology, in a cutting-edge situation, whereas testing has been here for a long time. But this means that, for a number of reasons, which are quite easy to understand, and that we will see in a few minutes, testing is becoming more and more important, and so the importance and the size of a testing market is growing accordingly. This is one of the most known reports. It's the so-called World Quality Report, which is issued on a yearly basis. And that gives you, this is a publicly available report. It's done by Capgemini and HP. It gives quite a lot of useful information. I would just like to focus on one of this, the second part that you see, is what are the budgets which on average are assigned to the testing and quality assurance activities in IT companies. We see that it was 18% in 2012. It has grown to 26% in 2014. It is predicted to grow to 29% in 2017. These are big, 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 big numbers, as you can see. And, well, we have understood from Lee that looking at numbers must be done in a very thoughtful way, because this could mean a lot of things. Could mean that the quality of development is getting worse, so we need more testing, or that the importance of having, let's say, high-quality delivered products is gaining momentum, is increasing, or a combination of the two. But it's a fact. So today, the percentage of budget which is assigned to testing is growing a lot. And in particular, another data that you see in the corner down on the right side is Agile. I was having just a talk with Robert Bender this morning, and our conclusion, and the statistic is confirming this, is that Agile is not something that we can say is something new, is something to evaluate whether to use it or not. It's a de facto default way today to do new projects which are starting. So it's something that we have to deal with and to confront with, but clearly has a lot of impacts on the way that we do testing. Where are we today? Today, we are in a situation in which we have a lot of drivers for testing in the market. First one is that all the companies are faced to a higher competition, so we have to reduce cost. We have an increasing dependency of business from software. What we see today, we have more and more sectors and domains where we have software-intensive systems and where the reliability of software is even more important. We have a lot of business which are just based on software systems. Multiple platforms as well is a new challenge. And in general, the agility is something that the market requires in terms of quicker time to market and consumption-based pricing. And this is very important to me. Testing is not something which is IT, is not something which is engineering, not something which is telco. It's something that is applicable to all these domains. So today, testing is needed a lot in all the domains, not just IT, but also engineering, by which I mean the R&D of software-intensive systems, as well as telco and all other domains. Let's give you some figures about where ISTQB has grown today. Today, worldwide, we have done more than 500,000 exams. These are the data which are, let's say, up to date as of the end of June 2015. So 560,000 exams worldwide. I think it's a massive number. And we have issued around 410,000 certificates. We have seen that the market is growing, and so ISTQB is growing, not just in absolute numbers, but also in terms of acceleration. So if you look at the trend year-over-year of our certificates, we see a growth of about 8.5% with respect to the previous years on a like-per-like perimeter. If we add to this the Agile tester certification, which was launched a few months ago, the increase every year is close to 15%, which is quite an impressive one. So it means that today, worldwide, ISTQB is administering close to 20,000 exams and around 15,000 certifications. I would like to pinpoint something which is, let's say, growing very, very fast. We have seen the Agile market. ISTQB decided a few years ago to have a specialized Agile tester syllabus and associated certification. And we're very proud to tell that this certification is really gaining traction. We launched it officially. The go-to-market was in the last months of 2014. Then we have some latency because all the boards have to translate into the local languages. They have to organize exam. So practically, the Agile exam have started to happen in worldwide, let's say February, March this year. So in just a few months, from February to June of 2015, we have already had more than 2,000 exams by 33 boards worldwide. So we plan that by the end of the year, we will overachieve 5,000 exams with certificates, not only Agile, but worldwide, but in all the kind of certificates, which have been issued today in 108 countries. So with really a global footprint and global outreach. We think that today, ISTQB is not perfect, by sure. Is somewhat a model, and so a model can have a lot of pitfalls, but still we think that we are providing some benefits to the professionals in terms of international recognition of the competencies, the possibility for people to use the certified tester logo, and a career path support from foundation to expert level. We know that today ISTQB is a driver in the labor market. We have some countries in which being or not being certified is a strong selection criteria for hiring and growing in the profession. Is it right? Is it wrong? Again, it's a fact. We are not pushing for that, but this is happening, and in more and more countries this is happening. So we have a duty to make the ISTQB certification as much professional and as much reliable and as much significant as possible. So this is why we are, let's say, planning a significant evolution of the scheme itself. I've told you about the possibility for companies as well to enter into the partner program, so to have their, let's say, a recognition for the number of staff which is ISTQB certified. And you know that we count on the accredited training providers, which are companies which provide training for us. There is a total separation, segregation of duties between exam providers and training providers. And we have a very strong accreditation process for our training providers because we really want to ensure that the quality of their training in terms of coverage of contents, in terms of coverage of learning objectives, in terms of practical also approach to training. So in really being a vehicle for us to transfer the knowledge in the market is key for us. So the accreditation process, in our mind, is very serious. And so when you get across an accredited training provider, we expect to be a good one. Okay, I have here some statistics, but I'm not going to be in much detail with them. But let me say that today we are quite satisfied of the way that the people that have taken ISTQB certification consider it worthwhile. For instance, here we have a third-party analysis that was done at the Eurostar, last Eurostar conferences, in which the question was, does software testing certification have a value to you in several respects? Are something you're proud of? Did it help in get a job or a promotion? Was overall worthwhile to undertaking and had an impact on the way in which I do my activities? And that you see that in most of the cases there was a positive response on all this. We also have another statistic, which, as being a statistic, must be looked at with care, but that we think is at least interesting to share among us. You may have heard about the work of Capers-Jones, which is a guy from the US that is working since 25 years in software engineering and had a collection of statistical data analysis on more than 25,000 projects in 27 countries. And he has made an analysis on how software methods, practices can have an impact on software productivity. This is a quite, in my humble opinion, quite well-made study and analysis. The methods and criteria which have been analyzed are more than 300. I've just selected a few which relate to software testing practices. So in accordance to these statistics, with respect to the average behavior of software products, you can have a positive or detrimental effect on the software productivity depending on some practices that you adopt or not. For instance, if you have a test team which is inexperienced, the analysis says that it's quite likely that your software productivity will be 15% less, will be hampered by 15% with respect to the average behavior. That, for instance, if you stop a project, even if a testing activity, you stop a testing activities, even if there's still a lot of bugs which are getting out of testing activity, but just you need to meet the schedule and go to market, at the end of the day, this will have a negative impact of 45% of the total cost of ownership of your project. And we also have a statistic, which is what is the effect of having a project in which testing is mainly done by certified personnel. It looks like this is a positive impact in the order of 7%. So we're not saying that having certified test personnel changes life with 25, 30, 35%, honestly. I would say this would not be credible, but it looks like it really has an impact, not only on a professional, but also on the productivity of our projects. We have recently released an ISTQB survey that we call the Worldwide Software Testing Practices that has just been released and will be available for free from our website soon. And we have also some data to report to you. This one is a confirmation. We have asked well, first of all, I would like to tell you that this is probably the largest survey ever conducted worldwide about software testing, because we had replies from more than 3,000 people, and I've not yet seen any survey with that large amount of people. This survey was completely open on the web, so I can tell you that we also incorporated comments for people which don't like ISTQB at all, because, I mean, you know that certification today is quite a contentious topic. So we have also some people that disagree somewhat on the way that we are working. This is normal, and we are very happy to listen to these people and to get some tips on how we can improve. This is all about continuous process improvement and product improvement in our case. So the first statistic is that, yes, we also from our customer base, from our, let's say, the base of this survey, we see that the budgets allocated to software testing are in the range of from 11 to 40%, depending on cases. And what is more important is that in most cases, so in 60% of the cases, the prediction for budget allocated to test in the next months to come is a growing one. Then it can have a different percentage of growth, but is growing. So I would say that many sources tell us that the market is big and keeps on growing. I'm jumping a little bit on some statistics. You will have this report to go through it, but this is a very interesting one. We asked the people, what is the software development life cycle that you are using right now? Multiple replies were possible, especially for companies which have a high number of projects. But it looks like today, Agile, in its various forms, has overachieved all other kind of software development. Is it surprising? Not really, but a little bit, yes. So I think that through this statistic, we are definitely saying Agile is here to stay, has reached maturity, is today the default way of making software development worldwide. Another statistic, which is very important, concerns test automation, and we see that test automation is growing a lot. About the companies that we have interviewed, the ones which are the red part, which do no test automation, are just 28%. It means that 72% of the companies are doing test automation at different level of, let's say, penetration. So here is where we are. We are in a situation where, to make a long story short, the testing market is growing like hell, and in which ISTQB has become the de facto standard in terms of certification of software competencies. So we feel the duty to keep up growing our scheme in order to keep up to date with the new technological challenges and with the importance of testing has achieved. So let's look at the future. I told you that in the previous 5 years, the market has grown by 10% overall. What are the predictions for the future? The predictions say that the testing market is expected to even accelerate. So in the period 2015-2018, the global software testing service market is expected to grow yearly by more than 11%. And since there is a strong forecast that there will be more and more outsourcing of testing activities towards external third parties, in terms of the testing market for system integrators, this is even predicted to grow on average by 20% year over year. So really a massive expected growth. I told you about the World Software Quality Report a few minutes ago. That were the data that were in the 2014. Now we have the 2015 World Software Quality Report, fresh from the oven. It has been published a couple of weeks ago. The first bullet was really astonishing to me. There was a prediction that the testing budget could have possibly achieved 29% by 2017. Now it looks like already in 2015, it has already reached 35%. I'm a bit surprised, can I use this? Because it looks to me even too much, but again, is a trend which cannot be stopped. Test automation is increasing as well, and we have new challenges about testing. First one is the testing of end-user experience, UX, because digital transformation is putting almost all our systems, our IT system, to be confronted with the end user in a way which is much more widespread than it was before. Security, as you can understand, is really a very hot topic in itself. Agile, we have said repeatedly that is a big movement, and this report tells us that there is a very strong lack of professionals in this domain. And the other topic, which is really becoming very important, is mobile testing. Today, 92% of organizations are confronted with testing of mobile application, just because mobile channel has become a normal channel to do business now. It's no longer just for games. And more than one third of the budget of testing budget allocated to new projects is for mobile testing activities. So it's really a big domain. So what do we plan to do in respect of this changing and scenario in which testing is growing at warp speed, and in which we see that the market has become so large that there are specializations which are becoming in themselves markets, very big markets in themselves. So we have decided to keep on extending our product portfolio. Our first and foremost goal is to keep the high quality of our deliverables, which in our opinion has marked the success of the scheme worldwide, but at the same time to make the scheme more modular, in order to make it easier for you, for testing professional, to obtain the certification you are interested in. So I will show you in a few minutes a new framework in which the current and future modules fit. So from a customer point of view, we want to have a possibility for people to go breadth first or to go depth first. So to choose whether to have a generalistic approach to software testing or a specialized approach to software testing. So the new ISTQB scheme is made up of a matrix approach in which you have levels, you know them, foundation, advanced, expert, but we have also 3 categories. Core, which is the classic ISTQB modules, specialist, that take some specific areas and go in deep dive in this, and the agile part, which deserves its own stream. So this is the new way that ISTQB is going to market. You can recognize in the core part the things that you have known for the last years. You can see the agile part, that is based on the current Agile Test Foundation. And we have started the development of new advanced modules for Agile at technical and organizational level. And we have the novelties, which are the so-called specialist modules, which are based on the foundation core and which goes into details. One of them has just been released. It is model-based tester. And other ones are in progress and will be delivered in 2016. These are usability tester, test automation engineer, security tester, and automotive tester. So most of them are dedicated to some, let's say, quality characteristics or some specific testing activities. We've also decided to trial with automotive a syllabus and a certification module which is more directed to a specific market. And we know that in some countries, including Hungary, automotive is a very important market. This could be followed by other markets like medtech and pharma or banking or telco. We will see. So this, I tried to stay with the time. I hope I didn't consume too much. And I'm pretty sure that the Hungarian Testing Board can give you later on during the day and tomorrow more details about the new product portfolio that we hope will be good for you and will allow you to pick the kind of knowledge and certification you're really interested in, and so getting to a more specialist-driven approach. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, GB. GB will be around for your questions. Unfortunately, now we have no time. I don't want to cut your break. So thank you very much for your availability.
I will be around today, so for any questions, you can call me on a face-to-face basis. Thank you again.
Thank you very much. Just before you leave for coffee, I would like you to ask you to come back and visit our partners who prepared a lot of booths here and who are sharing with you all their way of doing testing and all what they do with testing. So thank you very much. And let's come back sharp at 11:10.